Sure. Let's see.
I already had it's already 8:01, so I'm going to go ahead and start this session. Hey, this is William, GMB, Google My Business Reloaded. We got Lane and Matt from Quantum Signals, soon to be rebranded. And we're going to go ahead and get this class started. By the end of the class, whoever stays to the end, I'm going to put a random generator in for a quantum press release, okay? That means that you have to provide me with the press release, and I'll do the press release for you. And then I also have another giveaway in the group as well for a 1,500 word article. So you can go into that and put your number in on that one. But during this one is going to be an actual press release. So go ahead, Matt and Lane. I appreciate it as always, you guys.
Yeah, you bet. All right, thanks, William. So I guess I'll just let Matt talk real quick since we were just talking about conversion.ai and some of the great tool it is to help create content. We'll just give you guys a couple of future features. Let's get that out. Future features, and some of those features include actual content generation tools that you'll be able to use inside the Quantum platform to actually generate your content, much like what you're using conversion.ai for today. Matt?
Yep. So we are beta testing our Reddit and Twitter feeds, as well as posting capabilities. And these are very unique posting abilities, unlike other platforms like Buffer or whatever. These are entirely integrated into the press release process, so that not only are they becoming channels so that press releases and press release snippets and blog summaries can be posted in coordination with the press release, they're completely interlinked from an on-page and off-page position. You can link to and integrate all of the social feeds onto your client's website, as well as on both the branded and hosted properties, which are all, those are three different options that we provide. The branded, the hosted, and the integrated. The integrated, you tie directly into your client's website, and then you have the hosted, which is on, it's on a pre-existing domain.
I'm showing them that now, Matt, just so you know. I don't know if you can see the screen or if you're just on audio only, but guys, I'm actually showing you what Matt's talking about. This is the live Reddit feed that's in beta right now. We're beta testing the Quantum Agency feed, but here's the live Reddit feed, and we can go back and you can see the Twitter feed as well, and then the combined social wall. I'll let you go. I'll let you take it back, Matt. They're seeing that live as you're talking. Here's the integrated version, and here's the hosted version. So the hosted version, as Matt was just finishing, and I'll turn it back to him. This is the hosted version on the actual domain that we're hosting, and then you can integrate that with the code on a client's website or your own website for that matter with the integration code. All right, Matt.
So there's some very specific strategy in addition to the technology that has gone into this. Many of you probably have never even seen a self-hosted feed because there's almost no platform out there that does it. And the few that attempt to do it, especially in WordPress, it's not executed really well, and it's not executed for SEO. One of the very important considerations is that 18% of all traffic that ends up at a client SMB website will click on a social link, and which refers them to the client's social profile. And that's great if they're interacting with the client's social profile, but inevitably 70% of that traffic will off click onto somewhere else on that platform. So for instance, when they go to Twitter and they start reading your client's Twitter feed, inevitably they're going to be distracted by a Twitter ad or a competing interest, which is Twitter's entire intention is for you to bring your traffic to their platform so that they can sell advertisement and traffic to other entities and organizations. So what we've done is we're enabling you as agencies to maintain and control and keep and prevent the loss of traffic. hard-earned traffic through all the SEO efforts and all the advertising efforts, why would you want to lose 18% of all that traffic to a platform? When you can maintain it and control it, you can still leverage the power and all of the integration and all of the leverage of a social post, all of the social proof and engagement, but at the same time, maintain control over that traffic and influence that traffic. A couple of things result from that. You get increased dwell time on your client site or any of the supporting asset pages.
That's a
And
signal.
that'll increase dwell time. Yep. Go ahead. You can pick it up from there, Lane.
All right. So yeah, it's a ranking signal. You got increased dwell time. You're going to get a lot of SEO benefit. Ultimately, we're doing this to generate signals. If we go back to what we've been talking about thematically over the last few weeks, we're talking about generating ranking signals to move the needle in map pack rankings and organic rankings. When you can do that consistently on demand for a client or for new clients, you're going to build a cash register for a business, because that is the number one thing that all businesses want. I just posted the data on that in our Facebook group today after a brand new survey that Bright Local just got done doing. I actually have it up here. I'll bring it up here real quick. Bring this right here. Yeah. So, this one, nope, next one here, right here. Most valued, the local marketing metrics most valued by local businesses. What is it? Local rankings, number 1. Google organic rankings, number 2. And then number 3, phone calls, number 4, new leads. Well, if you get number 1 and number 2, you're going to get number 3 and number 4. That's just going to happen. And so this is really important to not miss this point. When you can drive local rankings predictably for businesses, you'll be able to close more businesses. You'll get more word of mouth referral business, which is the previous one. What are the most valuable channels for getting new clients as an agency? Word of mouth. Why? If you do a good job and get them ranking, which is what they want, guess what? They tell their friends who are also business owners. And so you just build this cash register of a machine that just grows and grows and grows, but it all hinges on whether you can drive local rankings. Okay. Guys, we've got millions of dollars of software development and decades of experience in building Quantum, and it was all focused on one thing. How can we drive more signals it doesn't matter whether it's one business or another? How do we generate more signals using content? If I feed the engine with content, however I get that content, which is kind of what we started off tonight's conversation with, using conversion.ai, whether it's a writer, you write it, someone else writes it. However you get that content, if you feed the engine with content, the Quantum engine that is, you're going to generate ranking signals. Well, as we're talking about, so we're looking at how can we generate ranking signals, as Matt was talking about, tying this all back in, dwell time is a signal. And why would we want to bounce traffic off of our website with content that we've authored and then send that content to another platform where they're going to hit them with ads trying to draw them away to our competitors? So as much as we as agencies can prevent that from happening for our clients' benefit and even for our own benefit, we should. Also, we have signal generation happening on these social walls. So our software team, there's a lot happening behind the scenes that is just making this happen for our agencies, which is the beautiful thing about software. It automates otherwise very manual, laborious things or tasks that also have a high propensity for having mistakes happening, because you have human beings doing that. When software can replace that, you can create much more predictable results. So our software is creating schema markup on all of these integrated code and social wall pages, just like they are in the media room pages. So our media room software is also part of Quantum. You can launch these media rooms directly in your Quantum account, and then the media room page itself, as the landing page, is generating signals. We've got a live map API call here. We've got social link signals with schema, same as. We've got NAP and citation or organizational schema signals, And then when we click into any of these different media room articles, we've got anything that we've done to create on-page signals with H tags or links, videos, images, whatever we can do. Again, we got another Google Map API signal. And then we've got all the distribution links that are happening through Quantum that, take us out to the different places where this content also coexists, but it also then references right back, all of these signals reference right back to the source of that content, which is the media room, right? So we're creating these loops of interlinking signals with perfect schema markup on these pages, all being done for you with a click of a button by simply going into Quantum, going, I want to, add a new press release and create that content and hit the publish button. From there, everything else is going to happen automatically for you with the new integrations of the social wall and the social media integrations. Twitter and Reddit are in live beta now. They're actually working here, as you can see. Instagram and Facebook are in final approval stage. We just got word last Friday that Google final approved our app for Google. So now we can, and with full API access. So we'll be able to do anything and everything we want inside the Google API stack. So we'll have the Google app coming as well. Lots of new stuff coming. But again, all of this is being worked on by our dev team to generate signals at every level, on multiple levels, and then link it all together in a nice, happy way for Google, where you don't even have to think about it as an agency. You just literally go into Quantum, you add your new client company, which I can kind of do right here, just as a sample. You add a new client company, which is their information. You take this mostly from their Google My Business listing. You add in their social handles, you drop in a logo, quickly build their about page, which, is part of their media room, and save. This takes, literally about 5 minutes to do. Once you do that, then you have a client company in here, and then you'll be able to come into your app channel integrations and activate the different app channels that you see in here. On all of those of you who already have a Quantum account, these are grayed out right now because they're not live for you yet, but they're in beta testing with us right now, so we can make sure they're not, super buggy when we actually release these. I'll make this as an aside, guys. When our software works, and it's worked from day one, it's not the kind of crapware that you get on a lot of these different places. That's full of bugs, and you end up being their test tube for the next year while you're working at all their bugs, right? I can guarantee you that William can say from day one we got in using our software, it's just worked, right? So, we're testing this out on our own with Twitter and Reddit, showing it to you guys live, but it's already working. We'll have another week of testing here, and this will be, Twitter and Reddit will be live for everyone the week after. Maybe next week, but we'll under promise and hopefully over deliver. But you'll activate these app channels for a company, and then they'll be live simply upon connecting the Reddit account, the Twitter account, what have you. Once they're live, then you can literally deploy the integrations. So let me show you guys the integration code. And also, if you guys have questions as we're talking, put them in the chat. Matt will try to answer while I'm talking, or he can pipe in and answer a question verbally if need be, and then we'll make sure and try to answer all those questions as you guys have them as well. While we're maybe doing that and building up some questions, and guys, William or Matt, just interrupt me if we need to answer a question or talk about something that's relevant. I'll start to go into and just show everyone again how to launch a media room. So the media room is here. Again, we're using our Quantum agency site just as the demo. This is a WordPress site, but the media room in between the header and the footer down here is all just being run on 2 lines of code snippet. And that 2 lines of code snippet, we get right here in the integrations globe icon. We just come in here, we hit choose brand and integration. Let me go into one and just launch an actual new media room code, if I can find one that doesn't have it yet. All right, there you go. So we're just going to literally deploy the media or create the media room code just by hitting this button. It creates the code automatically. And then this is the line of code here, this little JS code snippet, JavaScript code snippet. You just copy it here. It copies it to your clipboard. You go over to your WordPress site. and I'll just do it right here. Just show you guys. You go right into your pages, and I did it on the news and media page. So we go to our news and media page, and this can be done in a Wix site, a Weebly site. It doesn't really matter. Wherever you can inject some HTML code, you can launch that page. So it's here. We're using Elementor inside of our WordPress theme, and all I did was just drop that code right in here, and that's there. You see that little 2 lines of code. All right, that little 2 lines of code is an HTML code widget. It's set to full width, and that's it. We publish, and the entire media room is then deployed with literally the pasting of that code and a publish of the button. Once that media room is live, then it begins to populate with all of the press releases that you publish inside of your Quantum account for that company. Once the press release is actually published, so what you do is you build the press release inside your Quantum account over here under press releases. And this is going to change as we get away from just pure press releases and start actually offering you the ability to actually do blogging as well. So with the addition of Reddit, and we also have Medium, Google My Business is more of a blogging platform because it allows for a lot more content than, say, a tweet does. So you're going to be able to actually start pushing blog content and press release content through Quantum. Our new brand release is coming here just a few days. So it's going to be going from Quantum Newswire to our new brand, because we are generating a lot more signals than just purely from press releases at this point. But you build your press release right in here. And it's really simple. You build your content right here. You optimize it really in step 2 with the headline, the blog headline, the body of the content. You go to step 3, you add some more images, you pick your channel for distribution, and then you just simply hit continue and publish. All right, I'm kind of abbreviating it for brevity's sake tonight, but once you hit continue and publish it, you're done. As an agency, you walk away. The rest happens automatically by the software. What happens first? It publishes that content to the media room within, say, a half an hour or so of your article being approved on the Quantum platform. If you're sending it out as a press release and it's going to be selected to go out to the media sites, like I showed you, all these different news sites that we're connected into, then it has to be approved content. It can't be prohibited content. It can't contain, all the nasty stuff that are always prohibited on these sites. But as long as it gets approved within about 30 minutes, it's published to the media room first, and then it begins to go out for a press release. Basically, we send it out for pickup to all the different media sites in our network. At that point, our software or the media sites can choose to pick it up or not. And then once they pick it up, our software will bring the pickups into the bottom of the article, as you're seeing here, and then you can link out to those by clicking on them, and they go out to the live news site. What's happening here? There's a lot of signals being generated that your eyeball's not going to see. There are some things that your eyeballs can see, like I can see the H tag here. I can see the links in here. Some of these are do follow, some of them are no follow. I can see a YouTube video in here. So obviously there's things in here that you can see with your eyes that are more on-page signals. And then you're going to have a very powerful Google Map API signal or Google My Business signal, which for driving map pack rankings is 25% of the battle. So we got to generate really good GMB signals if we want to rank anything in the map pack. Where does that come from? From Moz's own huge body of research and them interviewing thousands of expert SEOs and agencies. And so their local ranking factor study, much like Bright Locals, fleshes this out. But if you want to rank anything in the local pack, you have to generate Google My Business signals. All right. And not every signal is equal, right? I have that right up here. You can generate weak signals. You can generate strong or authoritative signals. When we generate a live map API call to that Google My Business listing and pull that GMB map into a very high authoritative news site, that is a very, very strong Google My Business signal. And that doesn't happen just once. That happens, a couple dozen times or more with just publishing one article, right? This has schema markup on it. It has a Google My Business map on it, both here and on the media site. We're sourcing this content to the client's website or to the target money site. And so we're telling Google, hey, the source of this, even though it's out here on an NBC site, the source of it is over here on this news and media or media room, right? And so we're creating these loops, we're creating these links, these connections. Ultimately, they're all, ranking signals for Google. What do we want to produce? We want to produce Google My Business signals. We want to produce link signals. For local pack, they're number 2. For organic, link signals are number 1 in importance. They accommodate almost 30% of the game. You have to be able to produce links if you want to create predictable rankings in both map pack and organic. All right. How do we as SEOs manually create links? Well, we can go do guest post blogging. We can do manual link building with all the different links or relevant sites and relevant sites, and just do link building manually one by one. We can hire people to do it. We can pay other companies to do it, but ultimately you have to drive link signals. We built Quantum to generate very powerful link signals without having to do any manual work other than build your content and hit publish. Once you do that, you're going to create literally between 40 and 100 do follow link signals, and then potentially another several hundred no follow link signals. And if we go in here and look at this, I'll show you that and then I'll shut up. Go ahead. Link signals, right? How we have links in here. So I can go into this article and I can look and see here, I've got several links in here. Some are no follows and some are do follows, right? And so I can click on that link and in the report, and it takes us out to the asset that we link to. I can take it here and it takes us out to the asset that we link to. These are link signals. And so we built, if you want to rank anything in the map hack in organic, you however you do it, you have to generate these signals. Okay. So GMB signals, link signals, review signals. Now reviews is kind of incumbent upon your client to get reviews, and hopefully good reviews by delivering good service. Maybe use an agency, give them some software and strategy on how to generate new reviews. But that's a little bit more difficult in terms of them generating reviews. Now we're going to have in the Quantum platform the ability, you're going to be able to have one of the walls that you're going to be able to deploy, like the media room wall and the social wall. You're also going to have the ability to launch the Facebook reviews and Google reviews wall. So you'll be able to generate review signals on your client's actual website with perfect schema review markup, just by activating those, different channels for Facebook reviews and Google reviews. So that'll also help with review signals. On-page signals, we'd use on-page signals by putting the NAP in the content. We can generate on-page signals with H tagging, H1 through H6. We can generate on-page signals with adding images and videos. Those are signals. Google crawls that content and sees images and videos. That's more signals within a piece of content. And we know Google loves images and video, right? I mean, they have entire pieces of their platform like Google Photos and YouTube devoted to images and videos. So you should absolutely be inserting relevant images and relevant videos into your content, right? To generate more on-page signals. Citation signals.
Hey, Lane.
Yep.
We have a lot of questions about pricing because, it's coming to the end of the month, the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of in the audience that want pricing clarified. And I know there's some specific special pricing for the group. So they're interested in lifetime and then the monthly, if you can explain it, and how it's until the 4th.
It's actually the 1st. I've been telling everyone the 1st, so I'm going to just live with what I've already said. We're launching the new brand and revealing the new logo on the 3rd of July to the people who have liked the Quantum Signals Facebook page. And then we'll do it also in William's group and the other group that we're in special with. On the 4th, just because we could pick that day, I just picked Independence Day to be the day that we generally release the new brand and the new logo to the general public. the general agency public, really, because we really only serve agencies. But on the 1st, our pricing is flipping because next week all of our new technology is going live with regards to the billing and the credit system. That's been about at least 6 months of coding to create all of this new systems that we've got. So there will be a free pay-as-you-go option launching next week, but you will pay more for everything on that plan. So it's only going to be for people who really can't afford anything else. They're going to pay more on a pay-as-you-go type of basis. If you want the best pricing and you want to be grandfathered in with our existing accounts and the benefits that are going to come from it, we made sure, and Matt, I know we've probably spent about 20 hours combined simply talking about how do we make sure that all of our existing quantum customers not only just keep the status quo, but actually benefit from our new changes. So we've taken great pains as we've worked through the logistics of this. Our platform is radically changing and expanding, as we've already showed you tonight with Reddit and Twitter and the social wall and all these new app features and all the things that are going to be happening with it. Obviously, there's been millions of dollars of cost of development that's gone into it. There's also ongoing costs with these APIs and maintenance and continued innovation. So long story short is we've taken great pains to make sure anyone who comes in today or before July 1st is going to have the most benefit versus coming in afterwards. So, I can go into more explanation on that if we have to, but to get in before July 1st, our lifetime account is still a one-time pay of $39.97. As of Thursday, it'll go up to $49.97. It's already gone up to this price, $49.97 for the general public. Just the Rank Fortress members and one other group are still getting the old price. If you want to do a 10-pay option on the lifetime, it's 10 payments of $500. This 10-pay option is not available to the general public. It's only available to our special group relationships like William that we have with William. So if you want the 10-pay option, you can only get this until Thursday. On Thursday, it'll flip over to a 12-pay option of $500 or $6,000. The 1-pay option will go to $49.97.
So Lane, there's a bunch of people I answered last week, and even today I said July 4th. So we're probably going to have to do something special for them and keep it open, because I know you said the 1st. Unfortunately, I said the 4th, and there's people that have already planned accordingly.
All right. Well, we'll keep it open for Williams Group until July 4th. Celebrate freedom. That's fine. That's your 3 days. Not a big deal. I didn't know that had been communicated. That's fine. Not a big deal. So we'll keep this open until July 4th, but only for this group. Understand, if I take away Rank Fortress, just to show you guys, any other agency that gets this through, just coming through us, you'll see the pricing page. You'll see here the 12-pay option and the $49.97 and the $150 per month plan is already gone. So these pricing changes have already begun to be implemented. But if we go back to the Rank Fortress one, you'll see that you have the lower lifetime, the 10-pay option, and you have both the $150 per month plan. This will go away on June 30th. We've already gotten rid of it. I'm just left it open just because I didn't communicate to this group. And then the $300 per month plan. This plan is going to stay essentially the same. There'll be some minor changes, but it'll still be $300 per month. It's going to accommodate the new credit system for all the new apps that we have, which are going to be called app credits. And then the $150 per month plan is gone. It'll be free pay as you go, which will pay a much higher price for everything: press releases, content writing, all of the apps that you activate will just pay more in the free pay as you go. The $300 per month plan will stay. You'll pay less than the free pay as you go, but you'll still be paying more than our lifetime members on everything. Our lifetime members are always going to get the most benefit. And then you're not going to have the monthly access cost with lifetime. You pay one time or on a payment plan for your access, and then you never have access costs again on the lifetime plan. If you stay in the monthly plan, there's always going to be a portion of your monthly cost that just is simply paying for your access to the software. That's how we as a software company fund the software, fund support, innovation, what have you. And then we also are funding it in a lesser way on the credit system with the app credits. These new apps have costs, development and maintenance costs, as you can imagine. So the app credits are going to be used to pay for that functionality. So any more questions on pricing? Guys, and if it's a little complicated to you and you're going, man, this is a little complicated, we understand. But with all this functionality, there's no platform like this out there that's even doing this. And so we had to figure out ways to both fund just the the regular maintenance and support innovation that goes into a software company, but also find a way to manage the cost of the apps and, you know, just maintaining all those connections for all those software accounts and what have you. So anyway, that's the best way that we could find to deploy it, while also giving you as agencies the most flexibility in actually using it for 1 or 50, or in some cases we have clients, agencies who are using this for hundreds of their clients. And what you decide to activate and what you decide not to activate. So we also did not want to disrupt our existing agencies that we've had for 2+ years and not change anything on them, because they've built a business model around this in some way, especially for those bigger agencies. And so we didn't want to affect and disrupt the apple cart with them either. So again, we took great pains to figure out how can we keep things status quo for the existing customers while launching literally a completely new frontier and planet, if you will, of new features and ways to generate signals, which was always our number one goal from the word go, was to be a signal generation engine. Other questions? You guys, you can do this manually too. I mean,
they're asking, is there any tutorials or demos on the site? In other words, or how to. Y'all have a whole library from what I remember.
Yeah, we got a whole knowledge base in here. Video tutorials. I have a getting started video. This does like a 9-minute walkthrough, just quick fly through, how to get started inside Quantum, how to, just understand the navigation that you have and what have you. Here's a technical SEO walkthrough video. It's about 16 minutes where you just over my shoulder. I actually did this with another agency owner and just kind of did a tutorial session with him and recorded it of how I went in and took a kind of a basic article and really optimized it and created a lot more on-page signals with those optimizations. So there's those kind of video tutorials, how to launch a media room. Yeah, there's all sorts, how to, pro tips for optimizing your articles, all sorts of, and that continues to grow. What else? Any questions about deploying media rooms? So guys, I don't want to understate this and or leave you with this understated perception of how powerful just the media room alone is, okay? So I'm just going to show you this. We can literally go here, choose the integration, take the integration code, go copy that code, go to the website like I showed you, and paste and publish it, and the media room is deployed.
What I'm also going to do, sorry, Lane, later on today, because I've been making smaller videos too and posting them in the group. What I'll do later on today, so everybody can see it, is I'll deploy an actual media room on an actual client. That way everybody can see how easy it is to do.
Yep, and I will show you. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to show you something, guys. I'm going to do it live for you so you can just see it. PR Newswire is the beast in the room. They're a multinational, multi-billion-dollar PR, company. That's what they do, is PR. That's all they do, PR. But they're global. So if you Google PR Newswire pricing guide and you find the actual PDF of it, which is the #1 thing right here, it's the cdn.ymos.com. You get the actual PDF of their pricing guide. I'm going to just open it up here and show you this, okay? Now, #1, just to do just to distribute a 400-word news release is $835 just for the US, okay, which is equivalent to what we have. We don't have any, state or regional only or international yet. We have more of that coming in the future, but right now that's just 400 words. If you want to add on additional words, it's $260 per 100 words. Okay, that's just to distribute it. That's not to write it. Okay, now once they've actually you distribute it, it can go out to their distribution network, which it does, just like it does in Quantum. And you can also have a media room through PR Newswire. If you want to get a media room through PR Newswire, it is $20,000 in the first year and then $15,000 per year in years 2 and beyond. What is the media room that they offer? Well, let's read it. It's a custom, fully branded and integrated news website that helps you drive interaction with media clients and stakeholder communities. The media room helps you aggregate diverse content and brand stories and propel additional online visibility. It offers rich multimedia libraries, photo and video hosting and display, sub-second press release automation, and robust granular social media integration. Okay, that's essentially what I just showed you in our media room. They are, I verified this pricing because I got on a kind of a covert sales call with them and asked them, and wanted to validate pricing. And they're really charging this. You might be able to get them down a little bit off the setup fee and a little bit on the annual if you negotiate with them and pretend like you're a little bit more broke than the enterprise companies that typically come to them and can afford this type of price tag. When I negotiated with them, in full disclosure, they said they would drop it to it, and I gave them a company that would prove that they weren't a big company that had a big budget. They dropped it down to $1,000 setup fee and $11,000 per year. Okay, that was their absolute bottom line, but lowest price they would provide. Okay, and $550 for a 400-word distribution to the U.S. Okay, so you guys, that's the market. You can set that market's been set for you. You can go deploy these media rooms with 2 clicks inside Quantum, charge what you want, but you're getting basically all of this inside Quantum with the click of a couple of buttons and and it's a fully integrated into their website, just as you see here. Let me give you a few more examples of other media rooms. Here's a media room for a nonprofit. It's on their existing website. So this is integrated, a fully integrated, custom branded media room on their website, all with the click of a couple of buttons and that code, right? And all with the same automation of publication of the news here. And then even the Cision Newswire media rooms don't include this, the distribution and the pickups, right? So I don't want you guys to underestimate the power of how these media rooms, both from an SEO perspective, because they are very powerful in terms of how everything that they're doing and the signals they're throwing off, but just the value and the value perception and what the other competition out there is just charging just to deploy them without even one press release. Other questions? Yes, no? Everyone, a lot of silence there now. Matt, William, any questions?
Not right now. Let me see.
I see a lot. My chat bubble's big, but I don't know if it's new stuff or.
How many credits are the press releases?
Yeah, good question. Let me go back to down here on the pricing page. 1 credit on our platform costs $1 US. Written PR distributions are 10 credits right here, which is equal to $10, 10 US dollars. We should note, if you don't already know that is way lower than the competition. Now, obviously, I just showed you that PR Newswire is charging anywhere between $550 and $850 just for a 400-word distribution. We don't have a limit other than up to 2,500 words in our system. So we're not charging you for every 100 words like they do. Even to their agencies, they charge that, right? So there's a huge profit margin just in a PR distribution alone. Add in the media room, and I just showed you can charge between 11 and 15K per year just for the media room alone if you want. Charge less than it if you want. Give it away for free if you want. We don't really care. But you got the media room, you got the distributions. The competition is charging on the low end about $35 to $40 per distribution, all the way up to as much as $450 to $850, like you see on PR Newswire. The link, I'll pop it in the screen in chat here for everyone. So this is the link to the Rank Fortress purchase page on Quantum. Again, anyone who gets in between now, if you're not already a member, account holder, anyone who gets in between today and July 4th, you're going to benefit with the grandfathering in that we're doing with the new pricing and billing system. That new system is going live sometime, we hope and believe, mid to late next week. Matt says maybe even as early as Monday, but we'll see. But that billing system took us 6 months with all the credits and all the different things that are going on with to be able to accommodate all the apps and the differences in the apps and the app features. These apps that we have are going to have different features. We're going to have a Google Maps feature. We're going to have a video digital asset manager app. So, all of those will have, different levels of features and different levels of cost to develop them and maintain them. And so our billing system needed to be able to accommodate all of that complexity. Matt, the question here is, what will be the ongoing price for additional credits for early adopters on the lifetime deal? The credits are still going to cost the same. Matt, maybe you can add some context to that.
Sure. So press releases will continue to be the same, 10 credits. And then the way that the app channels or the apps work, they're just incremental credit amounts. So for each entity or organization / company, for instance, the social wall, which would be like layer 1 of the social app, will actually be free. And then additional functionality around the social integration, meaning unlimited social posts using the press releases. So whenever you distribute a press release, you'll have automatic social distribution with all of the interlinking. That'll be anywhere from 1 to 3 credits, depending on what functionalities you activate. Yep, per month.
For that company.
And that gives you unlimited. Yep. And that gives you unlimited access to all of the functionality.
So what'll happen, as this begins to go live for our account holders, when you come in to your account and you'll be able to click on this app channel, icon. If and when you click on these, they'll start to light up and give you a details page with an explanation that'll probably answer a lot of these questions, like what does the Reddit, app channel do? What is the functionality? What are the different features? What does it cost? All that information will kind of be on a splash screen like you've seen here, along with the ability to actually, activate that channel and connect that client's, Reddit account or Twitter account, or, as the case may be. Is the media room white labeled or is it branded with Quantum? No, everything is white labeled. So from day one, we've been invisible. Quantum News, we built Quantum Newswire with agencies exclusively in mind. Okay. Why? Because we have been an agency and think like an agency. So we understand the agency world and the agency's concerns better than nobody's business. So when we got to building Quantum, we built it for agencies from the word go. And so part of that equation for us was, being invisible in the process, which is, like being white labeled. Now, so we've always been invisible. To answer, I think it was Dan had that question. We've always been invisible. We actually are coming out with a true white labeled option or version of the platform. Matt, maybe you can explain a little bit about that, because that's actually going to be a feature that's going to be available sooner rather than later in many cases, right, Matt? Hello?
I think you lost them.
All right. Well, so you're just in short, you're going to be able to put the entire platform on your own domain. So, and then have it branded to your own logo. So true white label, right? and then you'll have users and permissions. So you'll be able to add users to your account. So everything that you see here in Quantum Newswire today, you'll be able to white label to your own domain and your own logo, and all the features will go with it. We'll actually be selling the white label option as an upgrade option. Again, our lifetime customers are going to get the lowest price to actually upgrade to that, versus our, the pay as you go won't even have an option to be white labeled. So, and I don't even think monthly are going to have the option to white label. I think it's only going to be lifetime, but some of those things are still being worked out. But we are invisible in the process. Into the direct question, as you can see here, I'll go to the VetPaw one. There's no evidence of Quantum anywhere in the media room anywhere. There's no link to Quantum, no reference to Quantum. There's no reference to Quantum even out on the media sites, even though we're the software and the relationship doing, the press releases out to the media sites. But you'll see here, it's only referencing the client here, never mentions Quantum anywhere. So we're invisible in the process, and the new feature that we're coming out with will allow you to actually white label the entire platform. Roman says, press releases aside, with everything else you're adding, I'm trying to wrap my head around how many processes you could actually consolidate into Quantum. I'll just tell you how we've done it in real world, I guess in the real world. So we have a white label agency that we run. One day we'll just sell Quantum Agency off, because we're going to be focused on the software here. But this has kind of been our test tube, and so we've got a white label agency here. And so I'll just explain to you how we do our SEO campaigns and our processes in the real world today for other agencies. And William, you can maybe share in how your processes are as well. But what we do is we literally do the optimizations of the content in Quantum. So our team goes in, creates from scratch. You'll see those drafts in there as well, but they'll just go in there, they'll pick the company that's from. We build the content right here. We optimize the content right here. And then we publish the content here, and then we're done. Now, the processes that consolidates. Well, before we used to write the content, we asked to go publish the content before out to the blog. We would then take that content, have to rewrite it as a press release. We then take that press release, go put it into a couple of different platforms like Press Cable, Press Advantage, Newswire.net, whatever, and then manually put the content there. Didn't have nearly as much functionality there to create all those different signals, because those platforms don't have all that. So we were then forced to then go create more manual signals around GMB and even link signals, because PR links are all no follow with all the other platforms, unless they're sending some of your press releases to really a quasi PBN. It's not real news links. And then you're really just doing do follow PBN links. We always wanted to keep our clients away from the PBN stuff, because it's just was always risky. But these processes, a lot of them you may have that are manual today can be consolidated into having no process for them other than just building it in Quantum and walking away. We literally do not do any link building anymore for 90% of our campaigns, other than Quantum. We generate content, we optimize it in Quantum, we publish, we walk away, and that's it. We just increase frequency when we're not getting as much results as we want. So if you need to increase frequency, every time you add a new piece of content, you're generating another 300, 400, 500 signals. So if you increase frequency, you're generating more signals in the same span of time. So the answer to your question is a little bit complex, Roman, but we built Quantum to take a bunch of manual processes and really get rid of them completely, and then rework a process where it's highly efficient and simple, just 1, 2, 3 step and walk away. In those more competitive cases where Quantum is just simply not enough, guys, let me qualify this. It's not ever going to be enough if you have a crappy website and you have a crappy GMB listing that's not complete, right? I mean, I'll qualify this as saying you have to have a really good, complete GMB listing, and if you don't know how to do that, get into William's course and he'll teach you how to do that. But you got to have a good complete GMB listing, and you got to have a good optimized website, at least as a baseline foundation. Once you have those two things, then it's just a matter of creating signals every single month to create lift in the rankings. And you can use Quantum to do almost 100% of the signal generation. In the few percentage of cases where it's not enough, then we just do truly go to a manual link building process to help move the needle the rest of the way. Because as I shared earlier, link signals still are really, really, really important. And so when quantum link signals are not enough, which is very, very rare, but when it's not enough, then we do some manual link building, which includes those manual processes. That's a long answer to your question, but hopefully it helped.
Had a client, someone just asked, do we have a special code for Quantum? No, we don't have a special code for Quantum. We got a special link.
Page. Yeah, got a special
or
page. Also, just to note, we are giving all of Williams members an extra $100 in credits. Okay. So after you've purchased, you just send us an email, and it's right here, sales@quantumnewswire.com, and just mention RF bonus credits, and we'll add another $100 of credits into your account. This is only good for the lifetime options, either the 10K or the lifetime deal. It's not good for the monthly option. So if you do join on a lifetime, make sure and send us an email after you've purchased and say, hey, I just purchased. I'll see you. We'll have seen your purchase, but they'll just call us as a heads up, and then we'll know you're from Williams Group, and then we'll add another $100 of credits into your account too. But it's I'll drop it in here again. This is the actual page or link to go to sign up. You can sign up for the monthly options as well. And like I said, the monthly plan will be gone as of Thursday from this page. So if you do want to get at the entry level starter monthly plan, you only have a couple days to take advantage of that. You can always upgrade later. If everyone has that question, can I upgrade later? Yes, and you will, because you'll grow. If you can drive rankings, I showed you the stats earlier in our, in Facebook. You'll grow if you can drive rankings. You will absolutely keep your clients, or the large majority of them, and you'll be able to get new clients. Yep. You can use Quantum to go out and get new clients. All right. Now let me share with you this from a prospecting standpoint. Once you have your Quantum account, if you've got, you can come in here, you can add a new company, right? Add a new company, fill out the form. It's a form, add a new company in here. And then once that company is added, guess what you can do? You can go and you can deploy a media room for them. You don't even need access to their website, because you can deploy the hosted domain media room. Let me see if I can find the one that I can do right now. Okay, here's one I can do. So let's pretend that Pegasus Technologies is an actual prospect. They're not even a client yet. I want to impress them. I'm going into a meeting with this prospect. I want to sell them on my SEO campaign and my SEO services and solutions. And I want to differentiate myself, because I know if I differentiate and I add value, I got a really good chance of getting the client. So, I've got my sales presentation already or whatever, but I'm also going to go in here in my Quantum account before I meet with the prospect, and I'm going to deploy a media room for them. Okay. So Pegasus is my new prospect here. I'm going to launch Pegasus Technologies.mediaroom.app, and I'm done, right? It's going to launch this media room, and it's live. I can go there right now, and this media room is already hosted and live on a full SSL. Okay. Now, if I've done a press release for them, then it'll show up right here, as you see right here. So that media room was just deployed live while we were just watching, and the first press release is already live in the media room. Okay, I could upload their logo into here if they had a logo, and put their logo up here. We could build out the About Us page. Now I can go to my prospecting appointment and say, hey, Pegasus Technologies, I know you're, an IT company looking for, better SEO rankings. And let me just go through your sales pitch, but then you can actually show them, here's some of the things that make us different and how we're different. Now, if you could show them the media room with no press releases in it, or you could invest $10, 10 credits, and do a quick press release for them. Maybe copy and paste something off of their existing website, deployed into the media room, and then show them not only the media room, show them the article, not only show them the article, but show them the distribution as well, and show them where you got them published. Okay. We have one, I'm not going to give you his name. He's a pretty well-known SEO though. He uses our platform and he won't let us use his name because he doesn't want anybody knowing that he uses it. But he confessed that earlier in last year in 2020, it wasn't 2021. It may have been 2021. It was 2021. He said in the first quarter of 2021, he closed $500,000 in new monthly recurring revenue with new clients demonstrating the press releases using our plugin of old. He wasn't even using the media room. This was before media rooms went live. He would install the plugin, do a press release for them, and then go to a prospecting appointment and close them and showing them, hey, I got you published, on these different sites. And that was differentiation enough for him to close about $500,000 in new business in the first quarter of the year, using Quantum for prospecting purposes. Forget getting rankings, just to get new clients. So there's different ways that you can use the media room now to even close new clients. What else?
One of them said, we've heard everything it can do. Is there anything it can't do?
William, you've kicked the tires. I mean, it does right now. It doesn't create content for you. That is coming, and I was trying to get Matt to actually give us a little info on some of those new features. We do have a new content library. All right, so there's going to be a content library inside Quantum for each client or each company that you add into your Quantum account. That content library, you'll be able to generate content into it automatically. You'll be able to suck in an RSS feed from a blog to help create content, any RSS feed that you want. You'll be able to do an actual search, and we'll have a crawler, a search engine that will go out and grab content. Does it mail coffee?
I'm about to say that. I was like, yep, it's going to be a deal breaker if it doesn't mail coffee.
It'll have an integration into some of the image libraries to grab free images to create, image content. But right now it doesn't create content. What else does it do for us? It doesn't create, like these are really tier 1 links, which is probably a good little nuance here. So it doesn't create tier 2 and tier 3 links. You could use it that way, but we literally use Quantum to link to our most valuable assets. Like a lot of people won't send links to their GMB listing or their website because they're like, I don't want, it's maybe potentially a spammy link, and I want to kind of firewall or insulate my tier 1 assets, which are going to be your website and your GMB listing, from potentially spammy links, right? So when you're doing link building, you always got to be careful of that. We are using Quantum to send do follow and no follow links to our tier 1 assets because of the quality of these sites, right? They're super high quality. So we didn't build it to create tier 2 and tier 3 links, but with the advent of the new social signals and the social apps that are coming, you're actually going to be able to create some, quasi tier 2 and tier 3 signals using the social platforms as well. So, but right now it doesn't create tier 2 and tier 3 links.
It's not really needed. The only reason you need
really
crap is because you're going through a spammy source. I'm actually going to be getting rid of quite a bit of, extra, if you will, fluff that I don't have to do anymore. Now that I'm teaching this second class, with GMB, there's some things you're going to be seeing in this course that I did not do in the first course. and it's always evolving and changing, and things I'll add or things I used to do may not work anymore, and one day may work again. You never know. So, but you constantly have to be on your feet when you're in SEO. So
I did drop a 3-part, ranking study series in, excuse me, in the Facebook group earlier this week. I did, let me open up an incognito window just so you guys can see it. But I did a 70-day ranking study, case study, on going after Google stacking, Google entity stack, Google asset stack, Google authority stack, that theme of keywords. Okay. 70 days ago, this page right here on our site didn't exist. So 2 steps to building. There's the, it actually highlights it for you. I love that about, the search, but once you scroll, it goes away. But 70 days ago, this page did not exist, okay, on our site. Today, it's ranking in the #1 spot for the #1 keyword we're going after with a rich snippet result, right, for a PAA. If I go to Google entity stack, #1, Google asset stack, #1, #2, #3. Google entity stacking, even when I misspell it, #1 with a rich snippet. So if we go to this page here, all right, you guys can go and look at it, but on the bottom of this page are all 3 YouTube videos with the case study of the progression of what I did. In quick summary, I wrote this blog article here that we're looking at, and that was the page that I wanted to rank for these keywords. And then in succession, all I did was 3 press releases, which are all in the media room. Okay. So if I go to the media room here, the first press release was done the day after I wrote that blog article and published it. This is it right here on April 17th. I did that press release, and within less than 24 hours, and I have a video for it here down here at the bottom, I show you this page was ranking in the first spot for the first keyword I went after, okay, which was Google Asset Stack. And then I gave it some time, a couple of weeks went by, and then I went back and I wrote a second press release, a stack. Right now I'm stacking the releases. And on May 30th, I did, which was, 5-6 weeks later, I did the 3rd press release, Google stacking, increase your ranking. So now I'm going after the main keyword, and then the page started ranking for not just Google Asset Stack, but some of the other keywords that I was going after. And then I recorded another video to kind of document the results, video 2. And then just this last week, I did one final press release right here, Google stacking, June 25th. And within 24 hours, the page, which is, the focus page here, jumped to the #1 spot for all the keywords with a rich snippet. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys a exclamation point on what William was just saying. All right, we don't have to do anything else besides write good content, optimize content, and then push it through Quantum. I wrote 1 good blog post and did 3 good press releases. And in 70 days, almost to the day, this page is in the #1 spot for all my target keywords in the rich snippet result. And I kicked out everybody else who was there. And these are other SEO companies, by the way. They're not just, regular Joe Schmo. So, there's some competition for these keywords. And I did it, and I did this for a global/national keyword, not a local keyword. Understand that if I had done this for a local keyword, we probably would have ranked in the #1 spot within day 45 to 60, not day 70, and probably with 2 press releases, not necessarily with 3, because local keywords are going to be easier to rank for than a global or a national keyword. So that whole case study, those 3 videos are down here, and I explain in more detail, so you can go watch them on your own, what I did to this page even to progressively optimize this blog page while I did 3 press releases in succession or in a stacking order so to speak. Okay, so it's documented for you guys right here. All I did was use quality content and quantum to get those results. Nothing else. No extra link building, no manual link building, no citations, no. I did do a few social posts around with some of the links. So I did a few tweets and some, Facebook and GMB posts, but I mean, like a few, like 2 or 3, and that was it. So. Shabs says, yes, I just checked at Ahrefs, and I'm not lying. I'm doing this inside of an incognito so that there's no cache and no history there, not cheating the system.
That's only about a 1,500 word article. It's not even the 2,500 word article.
Right. Yep, this has got schema in it. I progressively optimized it. So, what I mean by that is the first run of this blog article that actually ranked in the first 24 hours for Google Asset Stack was only about 500 words long. Okay, it was a very short blog article, didn't have this image in it, didn't have this schema, PAA in here. Didn't have some of these other, I think I added these images in here, didn't have these videos in here at all, because these videos are the ranking case studies that I just inserted in this last week. So these videos weren't in here. So over time, I progressively optimized this page. I added more content. I added more H tags. I added more schema. I added more images and videos. And so what does that do? It encourages Googlebot to come back to the page and recrawl it. And when Googlebot comes back, recrawls it, finds more info, more links, more media, more images, whatever, it loves it, right? And so I encourage Googlebot to come back to it through the progressive optimization of the page. And then I just underpinned and supported this page with 3 press releases over the course of that 65 days. Yeah, Patrick, I just shared with you that the procedure is in these 3 videos. Video 1, video 2, video 3, these YouTube videos right here at the bottom of this page. So the case study videos are on the page that I'm doing the case study on kind of funny, but So go watch those 3 videos and I show you exactly what I did over those 70 days, step 1, step 2, step 3. And I basically just outlined it for you here, which is also recorded. So you'll have the recording of this, but I published the blog article on April 16th. This first blog article, a 500-word article, was published on April 16th. On April 17th, you can see the time and date stamp here. I published the first press release, and the first press release goes to the first iteration of this article. If you look at the actual URL down here in the bottom of my screen here, you see it goes to Google Asset Stack or Stacks. But if I click on it, it now goes to Google Entity Stacks because I 301 redirected that as part of the progressive optimization of this page. Why? Because the focus of this page between the first stage and the second stage went focused to go for my more competitive keyword that I wanted to rank for. I wanted to rank for an easier keyword first. So I went for Google Asset Stack. That was an easier keyword to rank for. I ranked for it surprisingly fast, like under 24 hours. I was like, okay, well, crap. Now that I'm ranking for that, I need to now go after the more competitive keyword. And so I actually continued the case study because the case study was over like in 24 hours. Like, shit, I already ranked number 1. All right, let me go after a more competitive keyword. And so I did that. And then I went after ultimately Google stacking, which is the most competitive keyword of the theme, and searched the most times. So anyway, April 16th, April 17th, first press release, waited about 5 to 6 weeks, published the second press release, again, supporting the same page. And then just a couple days ago, finished the third and final press release. And you guys can go and look at the videos, and then you can go and look at these press releases that I did here and reverse engineer the process. You can see the links and the things I did, the strategies are all literally right here to just go and look at, along with me recording the videos of me doing it. So you should have literally the blueprint of what I did between the actual articles themselves and the case study on the actual blog page that is right here, which I'll drop if you want to. Of course, you could go do the Google search and help me out with a click-through if you want, but Actually, I'll do that just because you guys can help it, right? No, I don't want to cheat. This is all done through Quantum. All right. So again, this was achieved with no click-through manipulation. Since I just brought that up, it wasn't achieved through any other link building. It was done with 4 articles in a succession over 70 days, 1 blog post, 3 Quantum press releases. You can do the same blueprint for a local service page. You could do the same blueprint for a GMB listing. You could do the same blueprint for, a location page, whatever you want, right? I mean, this blog post that I have here, just make that your local service page, or make that your, whatever page you want to rank, and then if it's not good enough, you can progressively optimize it, build onto it, add more content. And by the way, I did use conversion.ai as a tool to help generate some of this content. And I actually covered that in one of the videos. I think the first YouTube video, I kind of show you some of how I use conversion.ai to create the first iteration of this blog post. The second and third iterations were just me doing good SEO research and coming in and I actually copied and pasted some other ranking content and then just reworked it. Like, I didn't have to go like think through all this content. I just grabbed it from somebody else. I didn't plagiarize. I reworked it and made it original and unique, but I didn't have to go think through it in my brain power because there's already ranking content out there. I don't have to go back and like reinvent the wheel. I just need to rework the wheel, so to speak, right? And make it my own unique content. So, you can do a Google search for any keyword you want, kitchen remodeler near Austin, Texas. All right. So I'm going to get some GMB listings here, but I'm also going to get some people also ask questions, and I'm also going to get some content that's actually ranking here. So let me go in here and, grab some content and copy it. And I could put this into conversion.ai and let Jarvis kind of use his content to generate some more. Or I can just take this and then just reword it and rework it and make it my own and not plagiarize. I'm not condoning at all plagiarizing, but you've already got good content here that we know is ranking. You can also use, and I do this a lot, I use SEMrush's content writing template. So if you have SEMrush, I use that frequently. If you have Surfer SEO, you can use that. But there's tools out there to help you create the content. The moral of the story is create the content. And then once you have it, all you got to do is throw it into Quantum and hit the push button.
All right, we should be done for the day. And I will be posting this video up on the back end. And I will be letting y'all know in the group, of course, when it's live on the back end, so y'all can go watch it. If you have any other questions for Lane or Matt, just drop them in the back end of the group. Tag Lane in it, because he's one of the admins in the group as well. So he'll see that immediately, and one of the experts there. And if you have any questions, just post them there and we'll answer them there. And, we'll see you again on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're going to have Brant and Michael Merlino from Green Goblins, and once again be going over just GMB, Google My Business rankings, and some other tactics and stuff. So I look forward to being with you, and I appreciate it, Lane and Matt, as always. Appreciate it, brother. Y'all better jump on this deal before it goes up. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, William. Thanks, everyone, for your time and attention tonight. Hope it helped.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.